for you to be successful in the business world, right? Talent pools are expected today to be at the forefront of innovation. That's another important element. Innovation is the key today. Every business process, you will have to be efficient, and efficiency can be attained through your innovation, right? So that you can see that more and more, which we are going to talk about here. Here you could see that 10 top skills we are going to talk about it to attain your shared objectives. And there are some sources I have taken from research findings and things like that. You could just go through it one by one, and we could just see that, right? So first, foremost important thing is a strong inclusion and inspiring. A strong inclusion, inclusive and inspiring. What do you mean by inclusive? Inclusive in the sense, you can see inclusive growth of the nation. That means you see collective growth of a particular nation, collective growth of a particular nation. Here we are going to talk about an organization or a company, how collectively could see the attainment of its goals, right? And through that, how you can reach your corporate strategic vision and your objectives or goals, what you have set for your organizations. As you are going to be one of the C-suite group of people in future, or when you are going to work in a company as an employee, and you will be reporting to today's C-suite expectations, the top corporate expectations. It is not like your parents' time or grandparents' time, and the livelihood are totally different, right? Your parents and grandparents' time, the expectations were totally different, and they wanted to have a job to survive, job to maintain their family, job to have their life better. But today it's totally different, right? You have your job to fulfill your other needs, not only just basic family needs, more than all those things. You have to have, it's actually based on, you can see your Maslow's need hierarchy. Those days, the skill sets you could see from that physiological needs to the basic psychological needs, like your like food, shelter, clothes, and having job security, and all those things were the earlier elements which people talk about it, right? Now you are going to speak about more into self-esteem, right? The current generation works on self-esteem. That means, right, you wanted to have like multiple elements, multiple criteria which determines your portfolio, career portfolio, right? I hope you understand what I mean. Really, there is no such thing called like soft skills, hard skills, all much which you have learned already. You will be learning during your like a course during your MBA, as well as during your job when you start immediately after your MBA. Besides that, you want to have that power skills, which is going to enable you to be the better person and going to reach another 7 to 10 years time your dream kind of environment or portfolio, which comes under C-suite generations, right? So you are going to see the shared vision, shared objectives of your organization, and make everyone as resource people and make them work towards your one goal. That is the first foremost important skill you have to attain. And from today, from your day-to-day classroom activities, you do a lot of activities. You have done recently your business meetings. You have done recently your retail. So you would have observed a lot about working as a team and attaining. Even manager is part of a team, and you just engage your team and work with the team, not just only directing the team. You are a part of workforce. That is very important to be an example for others to see, right? When it comes to your kind of teamwork and shared values, shared vision to work towards, and you could see the challenges which comes along with it. Inspiring people. So as long as you are inspiring, how you can inspire people, not just motivating alone or paying somebody higher can inspire. Be an example by doing the work along with them, by making them feel that you are a visionary person, you are a principled personality, where you are moral, kind of quality can showcase others that you are a fair person at workplace. That is important. That could make people to see that emotional quest, emotional intelligence balanced, right? That's important, which you could take note of it. First important quality, which you are going through more and more in your day-to-day classrooms, which you have to attain at the max, right? And you could see here, I wanted to share about one more incident or a few examples here for you to understand. So when it comes to C-suite environment in the corporates, of course, sometimes you could see some cultural kind of engagements and like a Deepavali celebration, Pongal celebration, or Onam celebration, or like you have Holi festival, or you have Christmas, and you have kind of Ramadan, right? Likewise, many kind of events you have, and companies also they take part of these cultural events. Right? When you learn to be your C-suite employees, imagine, like you see, can you imagine like Sachin Tendulkar is a person passionate kind of a leader in the cricket industry, right? Likewise, you can see, take up some examples from the international games, right? Games you could see. So when they take up their journey, do you see them having culturally involved so much? And have you ever seen in the public portal or any engagements having such elements? I don't see that happening. So like today's higher education is totally different, right? So it is about, can you imagine that when we can say our Indian system, like education system, ethos, we could see that those days, like our kingdoms were in practice, you could see how these people got education, how these people can rule a country or rule a kingdom. Did you ever think about it? Did you ever read a story? You can imagine, there will be like a king will be ruling a place, rules a place, and there will be like prince and princess and so on. They send those people to their gurus, where into the forest. And they even start from the basic learning, education, right? Their basic hard skills, soft skills, everything taught by the guru, right? Though they are from the high-end families, they are not left out. They have to go through that harder times, hardship times to develop themselves, so that only they can protect their own nation, they can protect the people, and they can be great leaders of the future. So that is the element behind all the successes. And you people take up the same system what we follow, our tradition has from India, which is going to make you people to be great, strong leaders of tomorrow, where you could see after that, next generations, you could see that like you have a lot of leaders like Mahatma Gandhi ji, you have Bose, Subhash Chandra Bose, our freedom fighters, and like your latest ones, like you could see like APJ, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, right? And many more people have come front and come forward, and they have developed the nation, and they have contributed so much for the nation development. You take it the similar way to our industries, corporates, like you could see that Narayan Murthy from Infosys, and our Premji, like from Wipro, Tata Groups, Ratan Naval Tata, like current practitioners, you could see the passion they have for their businesses and their life and their dedication. Do you think ever they have separated their jobs or their career different from their personal life? Do you think? What's your opinion about it? I don't think so. I don't think so. They take their career, they take their business life as part of their life, or that is their major role they live for. Like your family, part of your family, right? You're having a role in your family, something like that. Your business plays a major role in your life. How can you say job you can separate and your life can be separated? But I don't believe in that. You will have to make it like part and parcel of your life, your job and all those things. So those elements like comes with some fun and cultural activities and this and that, a small element. You could see, say, sometimes they engage or sometimes they don't even engage. You don't need it. Even the kingdom days, you could see that Guruji, do you think they have allowed for all these things? They have entertained for all these things? They have no other choice. The only thing is they had focus, work towards it, right? That is important. So this is what you have to keep in mind when it comes to your post-graduation in business management, developing your C-suite skills. Imagine to have a strategic vision. Next, second point, for a medium or long term, like balancing of forethought, always thinking about it, dreaming about it. Like our Abdul Kalam says, the dream is not that one when you get during your sleep, when the dream which doesn't make you sleep. That is what the dream you should have. That is what you should have it for your business. That is what you should have it for your life and your career and everything. That's important for you to think it over. So you have to have that aspirations, motivations to align everybody towards that, not only you, and you have to make others to align with that goal. Then you can attain your strategic vision clearly. And you can just go and browse more and more, which we discussed a lot in the past, how to improve your strategic thinking all the time, right? And you have practiced some of it in your board meeting, international business meeting series, which we are so much impressed, which we will see that later. So flexible and able to manage change, another important element which we have discussed, right? Adaptability for change. So basically, when you wanted to make changes, what you have to be like, that one term we discussed about change agent, which is otherwise called, what we call it otherwise, change agent, which we otherwise call change catalyst, right? Change catalyst. I hope you remember that, what we have discussed in the earlier days. So you have to bring change to your organization, not to think about it and register. Change is what? Creativity and innovation. Creativity is about idea, new idea, which you wanted to bring it to make your new product, new market, or new processes, which can enable your business to move forward to attain your competitive advantage, right? So that is important too during this post-COVID time. And staying put in a comfort zone is no longer an option. It's no longer an option. You are going to be in discomfort environment every moment. Imagine last week class and this week class, we are totally in different environment. We are in uncertainty. Every moment things are getting changed. So you people have to be really, really ready for accepting change, flexible to accept change, being dynamic into the environment is so important. And as a leader, you are going to make the whole workforce for your company, your organization to work towards managing change. Not only you change your mindset, you should make people to adapt with the change mindset, right? Of course, the resistance will be there. You know how to overcome resistances, right? Resistance means like defending. They do not want to accept the change, right? Sometimes because of job insecurity, learning of new things, coming out of comfort zone, all those are there. That's the causes for some of the causes for your resistance. So how to overcome that? Proper training, proper counseling, right? You will have to explain it to them. You will have to educate them the need for change today in order for the business to sustain in the business world. That is another important skill set or something you need as a C-suite employee, which you can see that, especially now, the current scenario after post-COVID, right? The post-COVID time. And the principled and able to be lead by example. You could see that, which we have seen in the moral developments time, right? I can just see that. Yeah. Can you see this part? Yeah. Do you remember this? We discussed some time back, right? So you have pre-conventional kind of level of changes, stages, conventional and principled. What is principled, which we have discussed? Following self-chosen ethical principles. Self-chosen. You do by yourself. You don't violate. You make your own values, your own principles for your life, right? Valuing rights of others and upholding the values and regardless of the, you could see that here, like absolute majority opinion. You have to accept that. That is important, right? So just being conventional alone cannot make you C-suite. You have to be principled. Like principles, even if they violate the law, that's okay. You can go for it because you are going to stand on the moral values, ethics of the majority of people, majority's opinion, to stand on the developments of their organization or the community you belong to. That is important. That is the next important element which we discussed about, principled and able to lead by example. Being an example, set yourself as an example, like solidarity, being strong, unity, harmonious, closeness, right? Closeness to attaining all these things, humility, more hopefulness, optimism, always moving forward. That you have to think about. Humbleness, humility, in the sense humbleness and willingness to listen to distant and rise up, right? Rebel voices, all those things you could see next. Next important thing is resilient and capable of managing adversity, right? When you are in harder times, hardships like your COVID and so on, how you manage, how you flexibly accept it, how you are consistently developing, moving forward, then we could do that, right? By focusing on the available resources and what is possible. Like only you have online now. What could you do the best out of it? What we do currently, resilient and capable of managing your harder time, hardships, adversities. That is another important thing. Being positive. Don't wait for somebody to motivate you. Don't wait for somebody to come and give you some clues to do what. But you can have always having brainstorming sessions. You can have synergetic discussions where you can have experts to come and talk to you. You can engage them, but you have to move forward and motivate everyone, inspire everyone towards consistent, continuous developments towards the positivity, even when you are having hard times. Right? Next one, accelerate innovative climate. Very, very important. Accelerate your career with innovation. That's a very important element for a C-suite employee. Profound changes that were already afoot or preparation or progress, we call it. You have to progress, accelerate, move forward, aggressive form of moving forward, accelerating, making everyone to go with your ride, right? Pre-pandemic are now accelerated by crisis. Everyone started to think about how to sustain. Some people think about how to make this business viable. Some people think about it, how to make this business is extra outstanding. Accelerating innovation with this. Now you could see a lot of innovative ways things are moving forward. Right? Business models have got changed. You could see that. Decision maker. Like you could see how you can make decision as a manager. I'm going to show this. Have you seen this anywhere earlier? This particular slide. Have you seen this? Skill sets, roles for managers, right? Was given by Mintzberg. Like interpersonal roles, figurehead, leader, liaison. You are the main person, interpersonal role, handling your shared vision with everyone, collaboratively, working with everyone, make them work with you, inspire people as a leader, as a liaison, co-worker, and figurehead on the top, like director, or you are the visionary personality. The next, informational roles. You should have everything in fingertip to handle things. Monitoring, disseminator. That means you do research all the time. Gathering of information, gathering of data, analyzing properly with right tools today, and disseminate to right person. Disseminating this and spread it to different people, right people to make right decisions. That's important, being a decision maker. You should have information always up to date with your hands. Spokesperson, with information, with all what you have to express to people. People should believe in your words with all the evidences you have. Analytics today, it works really, really high. Business analytics you have, predictive analytics you have, right? All those are the elements. You have the systems today. All goes with calculations. No, you have decision-making steps. We have seen it. Identifying the problem, which already solves 50% of your problem. Then making your problem into criteria, allocating criteria, weightages. Then after that, what you should do? Then evaluate properly with the choices available in the market. Then make the right decision so that your business can be going with the rational form of decision making. That's very, very important as a decision maker. The next important roles which is prescribed by Mintzberg is entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur, you have to take ownership. Though you are not an entrepreneur, you should really make yourself having ownership towards your business. Ownership means what? Like those people, like you can see Sundar Pichai. You could see those people taking the companies on their own direction, their own visionary way, and even they are not part of their owners or the major shareholders of the company, because they take that entrepreneurial ownership. Entrepreneurial employees, we call it. You people should have that idea and mindset with you while going forward towards your C-suite lifestyle. Okay, and you are the disturbance handler. Don't that disturbance comes and disturb you all the time. Why? Because that will distract you every time. You could see people coming forward with problems and giving you problems. Always you should encourage an environment, create a culture where people come with options, solutions, collaborative working, so that you will not have problems. You will have people will come with problem and solution options, so you all can choose best solutions for it, right? Bringing problems to your management is not the manager's job. Taking problems to higher level is not the manager's job. Then you don't need to be there in that particular position. If you wanted to be the C-suite employee or manager of a company, then you should resolve all the problems which comes to you. Otherwise, you cannot be a C-suite employee, or you cannot be a manager, or you cannot be a leader in any organization. You should take the blame to yourself, or the problem to yourself, and solve it. And you can always post it, keep posting it, keep communicating with your management, so that they will be aware what problems are going on and how it is getting settled, right? That's important. So being an entrepreneur and having ownership towards your organization and the disturbance handler is something you should handle the disturbances. Otherwise, it's going to be like you are going to have difficulties handling your C-suite roles. And you are the resource allocator. You can't say, as your business meetings, I could say like millions and millions of dollars allocated for different departments, right? So millions and millions of dollars allocated for different departments. Can you imagine if you are in a company? So you always wanted to see the cost centers and profit centers for your company. When it comes to financial management, you will understand what do you mean by cost center, what do you mean by profit center, where every cent, every dollar you spend money, which is going to bring more returns to you, that we call it as profit center, right? Where customers are going to pay and get your service, we call it as profit center. Or somebody is going to pay for it, we call it profit center. Where you only spend like your fixed expenses, investing on something, like you call it as a cost center. Buying a capital kind of asset, we call it as cost center, right? So cost centers where you are not going to get return, but it will be used in multiple platforms, multiple places to generate funds for you, but not directly making profit out of it. That is what you have to see the differences between your cost centers and profit centers, and allocate resources accordingly, so that is where effectiveness of managers comes into picture. Okay, handling people, handling resources effectively, taking right decisions on allocating your resources, so important. A negotiator, where it comes to resources, where it comes to businesses, where it comes to corporate level strategies or SBU strategies, you will have to handle in a negotiable form, so that you can attain your results accordingly. That is what decision maker here. As manager, you people learn how it can help your businesses. The next important element is efficient and result oriented. Being result oriented, always attain results. Either you take it any kind of results, you always see the outcome. Efficiency and effectiveness goes on getting outcomes, right? You could see here another aspects I would like to show it to you on efficiency and effectiveness, how it's helping. It's going to help you to attain your results. Yeah, you could see here, efficiency means resource usage, low wastage, minimize your resource usage, and maximize your outcomes. Effectiveness, goal attainment, you have, go for it, go for your decision making, synergic decision makings, right? All those things which can attain higher efficiency, higher effectiveness, your goal can be attained. Management can strive for maximum level of attainment of your goals. So that you could see, that is what efficient and result oriented means. Being effective and being efficient brings you, your environment, your business to be competitively higher, and you can be consistent in attaining your competitive advantage. You know what is competitive advantage, right? Attaining the higher value for your business. So customers feels having higher value, you can get higher profit, right? Like, what is competitive advantage? Any other definitions you could give? Any other definitions? Anyone? Any idea? What is competitive advantage? You work over your competitors, right? You work over your competitors. So who are your competitors? Who directly produce similar products and services which they are in the market. You can be superior. Who is superior? If you wanted to attain competitive advantage, you have to be superior in the market than your competitors. You're attaining superior outcomes than your competitors through your value proposition, providing higher values to customers. We call it as competitive advantage. So you have to work towards that continuously, right? Continuously and consistently. Next, being collaborative. So able to work as part of the team and humanize the company. Like you can see, when you take Apple as a company, what happens in Apple? When you talk to any of the employees in Apple, so you could see that interaction, that it is not easy to get into Apple, but once you get into it, every day you are creative, every day you innovate. So that is what the feel, collaborative, making people, creating such culture for them to be creative and innovative, where you can be successful. That is what the successful leadership, transforming the people, transforming the corporate, transforming the world through that, which is what collaborative efforts. You should be the transformation tool, transformation leader, which can bring the community, the world, the business world, as well as the people along with you collaboratively, can make that change happen. So like this COVID helps, like many companies to work on this cooperative way. Earlier days, the bosses or the superior C-suite employees, they think different ways. Now the trust is another element comes into picture. Always trust is the major element in leadership, but here this COVID makes people to think, trust people, delegate to people, empower people, so that everyone can cooperate and collaborate and work for your organization's attainments. So now no longer no leader alone can battle the crisis without the collective effort to physically distance, because you are not physically there. So if you are so micro supervising some company organization, what happens with this COVID? You have to shut your business. But here you have to collaborate, bring the trust into the picture, so that collaborative effort can make your business, can make it successful. So that is important. That is also witnessed by a professor, IESE professor. The last one important skill sets is being yourself. Okay, communicative and with good listener. Don't be afraid to say yourself, even whenever necessary. Yourself, what is your feel? Being transparent is another element. Two things you have to see. Communication is not just what language you speak and what kind of message you wanted to give. Actually, more than that is actually expressing yourself. No need to be afraid of it. Like Sarkar case you have seen already, right? So what happened to, the major problem was communication, not expressing themselves on the particular role, what they play. That's important. And not being transparent to each other. That was the thing, put their business down. Listen, good listener, listen and make your communicative effective, and so that you can make your business really, really ongoing and successful. Even sometimes people say that, right? Many people say that over communicating is far better than a lack of communication. Over communicating is far better than lack of communication. Keeping quiet is not always the better way. You have to express it every time. Sometimes over communicate is okay. Still people are getting into the right ways of things. So that is about what the 10 important key skills, power skills we call it, which you need to work on to get it. And you could see the other elements, most important, most improved leadership skills today. We need it from Marshall Goldsmith. He's also another leadership coach, and he has prescribed all these kind of 20 kind of skill sets, which most of it we have already discussed. You could just see the treat others with respect, build trust, which we have already discussed, listen to different POVs and open-minded, on delegate, and we just discussed empower people, stand up to individuals who undermine teamwork. Teamwork is everything. Develop executive presence. Always be a brand of yourself. Executive presence is very important. Like address conflict constructively and timely. You have to address it constructively, rationally, make everyone, already conflict management, we have seen the stream of it, like win-win, win-lose, lose-win, and lose-lose strategies. We have seen it already in conflict management. Hope you all remember that. And collaborate with everyone, develop and link team strategy to business strategy. Don't isolate your individuals, your teams along with your business. You have to make it linked with your business strategy, core strategy with team strategy, right? Don't let every department or any unit SBU works independently. Make that happen. That is a major role of a leader. Stand up for what I believe in. Okay, you just go for it like you are our renowned leaders like Steve Jobs. Just stand up and just keep going, have that courage. Don't ever give up. People tell you you will fall. No, don't ever. Just keep going. Hold others accountable. Make people to be accountable. Make them responsible to do their jobs on timely basis. Present self with confidence. You should be always confident. Don't ever go and have people with your demotivated mindset or having some kind of dull environment. Keep yourself up all the time. People will get inspired from you, and their confidence level always will be higher as well. Focus on the critical issues, critical incidents, critical important and the urgent things you focus. Prioritize your works. That's another important element. Become more assertive. Take appropriate risks. As you know, already we discussed all these. Build cross-functional relationships so that you can make your teamwork efficient, teamwork better, right? Possible. To become better coach and mentor all the time. If somebody is not doing, work with them. Show them how that work can be attained so that they can learn from you, and they can afterwards slowly, you can release them to be independent, right? Match my leadership style to be specific need of others. Customize your styles with individuals so that people will tend to get inspired by your roles. Present my POV persuasively, become more decisive. That all we have discussed, you can see. The last very important thing I wanted to show you, one more thing, is the 7 habits of Stephen Covey. I think we wanted to remain this every time. Be proactive, be initiative, begin with the end in mind, goals always keep in mind. Put first thing first, prioritize your work, always think win-win, always work I'm okay, you are okay, I'm okay, you are okay mindset at workplace. And seek first to understand, be a good listener to understand, then you can go and act upon. Always synergize, have a brainstorming sessions, encourage people to collaborate and come up with their new ideas. Creativity, innovation can make it. Sharpen the saw. Always, whatever you are strong at, your skill sets are like Apple. Their differentiation, quality, feature is so important. So they are always strong in that. Always keep working on it, so that you can be a leader in the market. Either you